Okay, Chelsea are a team that is not afraid to spend money, and especially after Enzo Maresca in his first season led Chelsea to a top 4 finish and also a Conference League trophy. Chelsea look like they're on the rise again, and there are a lot of transfer rumors going around right now. So today I'm rebuilding Chelsea with all these rumors. You know, some might be spot on, others maybe not quite as much, but it's our job to continue this rebuild and make Chelsea champions of Europe again. But okay, so we start this rebuild at live start points at the end of the current season here, right after the Conference League final. Chelsea finished in 4th, only 3 points above Newcastle and Villa to get Champions League, and also won a European trophy. Top scorer of the team was Cole Palmer with 15-9, Jackson at 14-5, and Kunku 12-5, Madueke 11-4. Now Enzo Fernandez 13 assists is really good. So like I said, even though this team is currently on the rise, there is still a lot of work that needs to be done here. So with that, we officially enter season 1 of this rebuild. Now I've pretty much updated all the transfers, so like De Bruyne is at Napoli, Wirtz at Liverpool, all of them I pretty much think of. So this really is just next season. So that also means players like Leon Delap have already arrived at Chelsea for us. I mean, Chelsea paid what, like 30 million for him? That's not a bad deal considering he's 21 years old. You know, a lot of potential there still. The only issue is him and Jackson are both, you know, a little bit unproven. They're not like world-class strikers yet, so that might prove to be an issue early on in this rebuild. But okay, let's assess our current team we have started with in this video. I already spoke about striker, but of course at cam we have Cole Palmer, the star of this video, hopefully. The true star of this team, really. Now on the wing we have Madueke and then Neto. I feel like those two are actually pretty good, but behind them there's not really backups because like Nkunku's probably gonna be sold. Jadon Sancho's not coming back to Chelsea. Sterling's gonna be sold. Felix probably sold too, so I would say backup wingers might be an issue. Midfield we have Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, we have Lavia, also Santos back from his loan spell, Dewsbury Hall. So I feel like we have pretty good cover in the midfield. And then for the defense we have Cucurella, Colwell, Chalobah, James, and then Sanchez. Now fullbacks I'd say we're good at. Center back we have like 4 center backs in the high 70s. We're all young, so you know, Chelsea definitely building for the future at center back. Now in goal Robert Sanchez, that's going to be an issue for us immediately. This team definitely needs a new keeper. Now in year 1 we are armed with 174 million to spend, so that's a lot of money. So I'd say it's time for some transfers now. Now we've built a short list of players that have all been linked to Chelsea in some way, some ways strong, some other ways, you know, not quite as strong. But I think for my first target we're going to go after Jamie Bino Gittins from Dortmund. I guess it's Jamie Gittins now. Now in real life Chelsea are definitely negotiating with Dortmund. I'm not sure if those negotiations are going well, but he really does fit the Chelsea mold I think perfectly. 19 years old, 78 rating, no potential. He'd be very good competition for Neto and also Madueke on the wing. So we're going to try, let's try 35 million for Gittins. And look at that, if it was only that easy in real life, Dortmund accept that. Now for those who remember, we had Bino Gittins in a previous Kensington Career Mode, and man, he was so good. So he could prove to be a star in this video. He might be. This signing pretty much aligns with that. So Enzo Maresca has signed up Jamie Gittins from Dortmund as our first signing of the rebuild. So that is going to improve our wing depth. Now, I feel like what we need next is probably a keeper. I feel like Robert Sanchez not really gonna cut it, you know, if this team has like Champions League, Premier League title aspirations. So that leads us to Mike Maignan, definitely the keeper who's been most linked to Chelsea, I think. Now in the game, we have to pay almost like 100 million for him, although in real life, it's between like what, 15, 20 million, something like that, the evaluation for him. Bro, it's like one day Maignan's going to Chelsea, the next day he's not. It's like goes so back and forth. Now the recent news is that Chelsea have cooled off interest. I guess Milan have rejected their bids, but just like Bino Gittins, I think we're gonna make this still happen for this video. I feel like he really does make sense that Chelsea's new keeper and he wants to go there. I think in real life that's at least what's been reported. So at least for this video we're gonna try to make it happen. So 84 million for Mike Maignan. They want 89.7. Okay, this is so much more money than real life. It's not even funny. 87.5, and AC Milan will accept that. It's crazy. AC Milan no Champions League, so it really does make sense for Maignan to leave, but I don't know if it's just AC Milan's choice, you know, not letting him leave or what. Anyway, Chelsea, there's a lot of rumors going around. There's a lot of news reports that are conflicting, but at least in the universe of this video here, Mike Maignan is going to be a Chelsea player for us. So Sanchez move aside, we have a new starting goalkeeper. All right, so basically Gittins, Delap, and then Maignan brought in so far. I think honestly that might be it for my first window. I want to see how this team develops, you know, these center backs. I want to see how Madueke and Neto get on. Now, I know Ekitike has been linked to Chelsea too, but we just brought in Delap, so I feel like it doesn't make sense for us to bring in Ekitike right now. You know, it's going to create like just a log jam at striker. So he's going to remain a target if things fail, but I think season 1 we're going with this team here. And I guess Jackson and Delap can battle it out for the striker spot. You know, Gittins can try to force his way over Neto or Madueke in the starting 11. And then hopefully with Maignan, you know, Chelsea finally have a good goalkeeper again. All right, so we are going to simulate to January and see where this team is at. All right, so we have made it to January 2nd and we are currently sitting in, okay, 6th place. You know what? That's not too bad. So we are 6 points off Spurs in 4th. You know, that's kind of bad, but we are 10 points off Man City in 1st. You know, I didn't think we were going to be like straight title contenders in year 1, so I think I'm not too upset with that. Champions League, we are sitting in 6th. Okay, that's actually pretty good for us. All right, honestly, not too bad of a start of the rebuild. Not too bad. I forgot to mention, we also sold, we sold Sterling and Kunku and Sanchez already. We sold Kunku to Milan for 44 million, so that was some good money dealt. But stat-wise, who's getting it done for this team? Top scorer is going to be Madueke with 7, Palmer with 7 and 6, Jackson with 7, and also even even Delap with 5 and 9 games. That's not too bad. You know, we're seeing some growth. Palmer's +2, Magnan +1, Caicedo +2. The team is pretty much all 80 rated now, at least starting 11. So that's really a good start to this rebuild, I'd say. It's just, I'm still questioning, is Jackson and Delap really like the 2 strikers to lead our attack, or do we need someone else? That is, you know, that's going to be a little questionable, but I think for season 1, I'm cool with this team and I'm curious to see how they're going to finish. So we're not going to make any transfers in January. So let's get to the Champions League knockout stage. All right, so it turns out I think we lost one of our final Champions League games, so that means we finished in 13th and we're in the playoff round, so not top 8. And playoff round, we're now facing Benfica in our first knockout game, or knockout tie, I guess. Now we're gonna go through the knockout stage game by game just to make it that much more dramatic. Now, being honest, we really should beat Benfica, no problem here. So first leg away in Portugal is gonna be a 1-1 draw. Okay, that makes me a little bit nervous. So now second leg at home, are we about to be knocked out by Benfica, bro? Second leg is gonna be thankfully 2-0. Neto and also Reece James score, and we are in the round of 16 now. So now round of 16 we have Celtic, so I would say another fortunate draw, though I thought that was the last with Benfica and they almost made it pretty close, so I'm not really sure. I mean, come on, Celtic are a 4-star team. There's no way we lose to them, right? There's no way. First leg in London is gonna be a 3-3 draw. Okay, so Dewsbury Hall, Enzo and Madueke score, but we concede 3 to Celtic. All right, so another very concerning Champions League second leg. It's gonna be a loss to Celtic. Are you kidding me? In extra time? Oh, you gotta be joking. So Neto scored for us and Enzo Fernandez scored, but we conceded 4 versus Celtic and we lose in extra time and we're knocked out in the round of 16, bro. That is embarrassing, actually. Oh man, that's not good. Okay, that's signs that we need to change this team more so than we did in season 1, because this cannot happen again, bro. Like conceding 7 goals to Celtic across 2 games, that is just so poor. All right, though, we've now reached the end of season 1, so Chelsea are going to finish in 4th place again. Okay, just barely over Newcastle again. All right, so Man City win the title, Man United finished 3rd, but we barely get top 4 again. That's kind of like a mirror of real life. That's kind of funny. I mean, considering our Champions League exit, I guess that's not bad. Going down our Crystal Palace, Burnley, and Sunderland. I think I'm happy we're back in the Champions League. We stay in the Champions League, I mean. FA Cup is going to go to Liverpool. Carabao Cup is going to go to also Liverpool. And then Champions League is going to go to Barcelona on penalties versus Man City. Yeah, man, that loss for Celtic, though, is going to cause me to be very aggressive in this video now, because that is just embarrassing. Cole Palmer, 24 and 10. Madueke, 16 and 7. Jackson, 13 and 4. Even Bino Giddens, 11 and 2 is pretty good. So I think definitely Palmer's started this team. You know, he's now 90 rated. I think for season 2, the striker department might need to look at, and also maybe our defense too. Well, I'm saying maybe. We conceded 7 versus Celtics, so yeah, the defense needs to be looked at. I think that's safe to say. All right, so season 2 begins now, and I'd say I'm done messing around. I think with players like Palmer, Magnan, you know, players that high rated, a midfield as good as Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, we got to build around these players and actually build like a Champions League, Premier League winning team. So I definitely see the weak spots being the center back department, the striker department, and maybe even the wing, honestly, because Neto and Madueke, I mean, they might grow still, so I might hold on to them and keep faith in them. I think definitely year 2, we need a striker and a center back. I'm going for that. So that means I think Jackson, I think he might have to be sacrificed. You know, I think in real life, it's been a tough stretch for him. I think he's still a solid striker, but for our level, we're probably gonna need to do better than that. I think Delap can be a backup, but we just need someone better, I think. So at striker, the 2 players that are probably linked the most right now is definitely Ekitike, and I would say probably second is Osman. Now, I think like Bino Giddens and Magnan, there's the deals that, you know, some say they're off, some say they're on. I would say the same goes for Ekitike. You know, one day it sounds like, you know, they're negotiating with him for personal terms. Other days, the deal is just off. Now, my issue is he really that much better than Jackson? Probably has a lot more potential, but in game, he's only 82 rated. So, but Osman, I mean, 89 rated, he'd be a superstar already in this team immediately. Now, I saw reports about Osman saying that he handed in a transfer request that if Chelsea wanted him, they could give up Jackson for him in a swap deal or something like that. You know, you never know how quite real these deals are, but you know what? I think I might try that to see if it works. See if, you know, this time Napoli, if they even want Nicholas Jackson in a swap. So if we do Jackson, maybe plus 60 million, or you know, let's do like 55 million plus Jackson. What do they say to that? I'm not saying we do this, but let's see if they accept or want Jackson. 110 plus Jackson. Am I being scammed? I mean, I guess Jackson only scored like what, 13 goals. He's not Osman, but okay. Let's try 80 million plus Jackson, and they want 90 million plus Nicholas Jackson, and Napoli are going to, okay, they're gonna think about it. Great. I just feel like Ekitike is kind of like Delap, where he'd need time to grow, especially in the game, whereas Osman, he would be a clear star in this team, you know, undoubtedly. Okay, so we got a message from Napoli. This note is to let you know that we prepare to accept the terms you've proposed. Okay, so 90 million plus Jackson for Osman. They have accepted our offer, and now we can negotiate directly with Osman. Man, I think we have to do it here. Ekitike might be the one that's more realistic, more likely in real life, but I think it's safe to say Osman is the more finished product right now. He fits the timeline of our team better. So Victor Osimhen is going to be a Chelsea player. He accepts the contract. And we have a new starting striker now to pair alongside Cole Palmer. He's got some help finally. You know, Osimhen turned down deals to Saudi. You know, he probably turned down a couple deals from Saudi. He wants to move to England, and now he finally has it. Now, he still has a lot to prove, but adding a 90 rated striker to this Chelsea team, this really could take us to that next level. Yeah, immediately you see the impact that has to this team, and that's such a different attack now. So I would say next up, definitely I want a new center back. That is for sure. Now, the problem is that deal was so expensive, so we only have, okay, we actually have 124 million left. Thank you, Todd Bowley. We still have a lot of cash here. We're good. All right, so center back, I think I'm looking at either Mark Gahey or Kim Min-jae from Bayern. Honestly, I think I'm actually might be Kim Min-jae. I think he's linked to leave Bayern in real life. So of course, Chelsea's names are also linked to him, and I feel like he'd be a solid upgrade. You know, not a world beater, but he'd be an upgrade over what we have currently. So I think we're going to sign him. You know, I don't think he's had the greatest time at Bayern, but he could find second life here at Chelsea. He could find second life. So Kim Min-jae is going to be a Chelsea player. That is a new center back signed up alongside Osimhen now. So current center back pairing is going to be Colwell and Kim Min-jae. That's going to be our starting center back pairing. Osimhen at striker. I think I'll give Madueke, Neto, and Bino Gittins the chance to have another year, you know, them being the three main wingers. I think Gittins actually might start over Madueke now. I don't know. But okay, that is our team for season 2. I feel like that's much improved. We should be close to like Premier League and Champions League contention now, like winning those trophies. But saying it is a lot easier than actually doing it. So once again, we simulate now to January. All right, so January 2nd, we are going to be sitting in first place. Okay, that is what I'm talking about. So 19 games in, 47 points. And we have currently the best defense in the Prem, only conceding 12. And we've also scored the most goals at 42. Okay, so that's a good sign. Champions League, we are going to be sitting in 19th. Okay, wait, what? Bro, we're sitting in 19th, but first in the Prem? How does that make sense? All right, so we got to win these last few games, make sure we maybe get up to like the maybe like top 12. But man, all right, I am conflicted now. I don't know how to feel about it. So stat-wise in January, Cole Palmer has 17, Osimhen 17, Madueke 13. Okay, so these three are emerging as like the top players of the team actually. Madueke, you know, is kind of surprising me. Osimhen though, 17 goals alongside Palmer. That is exactly what we wanted. So I mean, if you look at the squad, Kim Min-jae's up to 85, Cole 83. The team is growing pretty well. I guess Madueke is kind of a starter over Neto, I think now. So that's actually our best team right there. I feel like this team is getting closer to contention, you know, but the Champions League standings are making me a little nervous. Just this duo though, Palmer and Osimhen, this might be a deadly duo right now. I think January, once again, we stay put. We don't make any signings, and I put faith in this team for the rest of the year. So let's get now to the Champions League knockouts again. I mean, that is even if we reach them. All right, so we finished in 21st in the Champions League, so we did not win our final 2 games. So that means, once again, playoff round, and we're now facing Atletico Madrid, though. So this time, you know, a much tougher opponent than Celtic and Benfica. Yeah, I mean, a 5-star team, 88 attack. This is going to be a much bigger challenge. They have Alvarez and Gyökeres as the top 2 strikers, man. That's actually deadly. All right, this one, I feel like could probably go either way. Let's see. First leg London's going to be a 1-1 draw. Gusto and Alvarez score. Man, this would be so disappointing. Second leg in Spain is going to be, yes, a 3-1 win. Enzo, Cucurella, and also Palmer score. Thank you. All right, so round of 16 again this time, but that's a big win versus a good team. All right, so round of 16, we now have Leipzig. So a sneaky team, but again, a team that, you know, probably could be a lot worse than that. I mean, 4.5-star team. They have Sesko still, Xavi Simon still. Other than that, it's not too scary of a team, I think. But so far today, we've seen with Celtic that it might not actually matter. First leg in London is going to be a 2-2 draw. Why is every first leg a draw so far today? I'll be honest, I don't feel good about this. Away now, second leg, it's 2-2. I think Gittins and Palmer scored in that first leg. I don't feel good about this though. Please prove me wrong. Oh, I knew I didn't feel good about it, bro. It's gonna be a 2-1 defeat to Leipzig. Gittins scores for us. And once again, year 2, we are knocked out in the round of 16, man. And Enzo had a stinker. Magnan had a stinker. The defense didn't look good there either, but oh, that's once again just so incredibly disappointing. Man, so far in the Champions League, we have done terrible in this video. All right, so now we're at the end of season 2. Now, I saw that my manager rating was in the red, so I'm not feeling good about this. You know, in the red usually means it was not a good season. So if we go up, we're gonna actually win the league title. Okay, why am I close to being fired? We actually won the Premier League with a 6-point lead, so that makes up for our Champions League exit a lot, man. That's actually a really good season. All right, so first trophy of the rebuild, I'll take it. I mean, top right, look at me. I'm close to being fired. Like, why? I don't know, but FA Cup is gonna go to Burnley. Carabao Cup goes to Spurs, and then Champions League was eventually won by Man City over Inter on penalties. Man, the Prem title, I mean, we were first at January, so I kind of thought, you know, it's a good chance, but also like we could have dropped off. I guess that shows the Palmer and Osimhen combo is a real thing here. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, Palmer 32-9, Osimhen 32-4, and then Madueke 22-9. They scored the same amount of goals. Hey, there's a new duo in London, Osimhen and Palmer. That's the new duo. Enzo 6-11, getting 7-10 is pretty good off the bench. He's actually, no, he's a starter. 85 rating, he's definitely a starter. All right, so Champions League disappointment, but I mean, overall, the team actually looks pretty solid. Bro, I feel like we could have won the Champions League this year. I don't know if we just got unlucky in that Leipzig game. You know, the cards didn't fall right, because this team right here, if Palmer and Osman are scoring 30 and the defense is doing their job, this year could be a Champions League winning team. All right, so year 3, season 3 officially begins. Now, I guess the first story of year 3 is that Reece James has requested a transfer away from the club, so he's our starting right back. You know, Gusto's actually the same rating, but Reece James has been the starter, but he wants to leave, so we can't do anything about that. So Reece James will be sold. Now, Gusto's like 23 years old, same rating, so I feel like that's probably not going to be a big loss. So we will swap him with Reece James for now. But okay, so the question now is, do we improve this team or do we keep it as is? Because like, you know, Premier League champions, that was amazing, but Champions League, just so much disappointment so far in this video. I mean, Maresca is the lowest rated player in the team, but he's also scoring though in sim games, so I feel like I don't want to replace him. All right, so I've been thinking a little bit, you know, the way Liverpool won the title this year, and then they went out and signed Frimpong, probably Kirkes, and then added Florian Wirtz to the team. I think it would not be smart to not try and improve our team in this year after winning the Prem title. So I thought, if we're losing Reece James, why not replace him with Hakimi? Now, Real Madrid currently have Trent and Hakimi, and they both, you know, they can't both start. So what if we brought Hakimi over to the current Premier League champions to, you know, shore up our defense? Obviously, Hakimi can do a lot more than that. He's not just, you know, just a right back. He's a lot more than that. So if we offer like 107.5 million maybe to start, Real Madrid want 144.7, bro. I am just getting scammed constantly in this game. 122. Okay, they just came down like 20 million, bro. 122 million. I'll accept that for Hakimi. He's that good of a player. 27 years old, 88 rated, and they will accept that offer. Okay, yeah, I am looking to be ruthless here. Now, we are improving a team that just won the Prem title by signing an 88 rated player to help us win the Champions League now. Once again, players like Palmer, Osman, Enzo Fernandez. With players like that, it's time to be ruthless. This is the time to go for it. So Achraf Hakimi is going to be a new Chelsea player. That is a huge signing. So, I mean, as much as I like Gusto is not Hakimi. We know that. So Hakimi into the team, and I would say now this team looks like a team that can win the Champions League without a doubt. That might just be the little boost we needed with Hakimi there. I think bench looks solid. The team looks solid starting 11. So Hakimi, the only signing of season 3 so far. It's got to be our year to go for the Champions League. Come on. So once again, let's get to January and see how this team is looking again. All right, so January once again. Now, please tell me it's been a good start. It looks like a good start. Okay, so sitting in first with 53 points, and we have not lost a game yet. 17 wins and 2 draws in 19. Now, that is looking pretty solid if you ask me. Now, Champions League, we're doing better there. Champions League, we are sitting in 17th. Why can't this team do good in the Champions League, bro? I'm about to lose my mind. 17th with our team, 8 points. You got to be kidding me, bro. Oh, man, it can't be another year of disappointment, bro. Like, is this team just cursed in Europe right now in this video? Like, what am I seeing? Now, team overall wise, Maresca's been 85, Gittins 86. So the team looks good. Even Hakimi is close to 90. Like, bro, this team is nowhere near a 17th spot wherever we were in the Champions League. Come on. Stat wise, Cole Palmer 16, Osman 14. Yeah, this is the true duo of the Premier League right now. These two are breaking the Premier League. All right, though. So no signings in January. I have full faith in this team. I think it'd be crazy to change things. But again, if we fail in the Champions League this year, then I think probably a center back or a winger needs to be brought in. Like, something needs to be changed. Bro, what have I done to deserve this? Like, this is just not going well in the Champions League. We finished in 21st in the league phase. So yeah, once again, unable to skip that playoff round and finish top 8. So playoff round, we are facing Atletico Madrid again, just like last year. And I don't feel good about this, man. I don't feel good about it. We beat Atletico last year. It was close, but we did beat them. Looks like they have a pretty similar team. Actually, probably a little better. Their ratings are a little better. All right, so let's see what we can do this time around if we can beat them again, I guess. So first leg in London is gonna be, it's gonna be a 2-2 draw. Why is every single first leg a draw? Osman scores 2, Gyökeres scores 2. Now, second leg in Spain, just like last year, it is going to be a 4-1 win. Okay, so Gittins, and then Osman scored twice along with Tosin. So it's gonna be a 6-3 win over Atletico Madrid. We beat them again just like last year. All right, so I feel like I'm living the same life again over and over again, because we got Porto now in the round of 16. You know, another team we probably should beat, but said the same about Celtic and also said the same about Leipzig. It's been like the same thing here. A team we should handle, but so far today we've not been able to. So they're a 4-star team, good attack, but not a good midfield, definitely not a good defense. Bro, I don't even know what to expect at this point. Let's see if we can get it done. First leg in London is going to be a 2-0 win. Okay, Hakimi and Palmer. That is probably the most convincing Champions League win we've got so far in this video. So second leg, 2-0 lead. Let's secure this win. It is going to be 3-2. Okay, so 5-2 on aggregate. It's going to be a win for us, and we advance to the Champions League quarterfinals for the first time today. Palmer, Osman both scoring against Porto. All right, so I mean, does that mean the tide is shifting here? Is this team, you know, overcoming this curse? All right, so quarterfinals, we now have Bayern Munich. So, I mean, quarterfinals, we're close to the semis. We're close to a final now, it feels like. It's just, can we actually get there? So Bayern still have Kane, Musiala, Elise, Goretzka, Polina. They have Saliba. So, I mean, Saliba, Ben White look like the 2 upgrades. Other than that, no changes. But as you can see, a 5-star team, 88 attack, 86 mid, 84 defense. It's a solid team. I'm curious though, what are our team ratings? So we have a 91 attack, 87 midfield, and 85 defense. Man, our team is better on paper. We've seen though, once again, it doesn't mean much sometimes. All right though, so first leg away in Germany, it is going to be a 2-0 Chelsea win. Yes, okay, Palmer and Osman score, the duo, and that's a big win. That's a really big win right there. Now I don't want to jinx things, but I'm feeling better about this now. All of a sudden, I'm feeling better. Has the curse been lifted? Second leg at home, 2-0 lead. It is going to be a 2-2 draw, but we do get through. Okay, I got scared there for a second, but Osman, Palmer score again. Man, this duo is insane. And we beat Bayern 4-2 to make it to the Champions League semifinals. So we are just one step away from a Champions League final. It's Villa Milan, the other side, us. It's Chelsea versus Juventus now. So Juventus. Now, what kind of team do they have right now? So it's only a 4.5-star team. They have Vlahovic still. They have Jadon Sancho, Yildiz still. But honestly, I mean, it's a pretty standard Juventus team plus Sancho and Costa. Bro, our team is so much better. We should wipe the floor with them, honestly. I got full faith here. So first leg in London, it is going to be a 2-1 Chelsea win. Okay, so Osman and Palmer, bro, these two keep scoring in all these big games. That's so funny. All right, 2-1. It's not 2-0, but it's still a 1-goal lead. I'll take it. So one game away from a Champions League final. Bro, if we lose this, I might actually cry. Second leg is going to be 2-1. Thank you. We don't lose it. Palmer scores 2, and that's enough to send us to a Champions League final. Thank you. The curse has been broken. Man, this is truly just Cole Palmer's team. All right, so Champions League final coming up next, and we're either facing Milan or Aston Villa, probably AC Milan. All right, though, end of the Premier League season. Let's see if we defended our Premier League title. I see Man City finished in 13th. That's pretty insane. That's pretty low for Man City. But okay, we're going to finish in year 3. Once again, champions of the Premier League on 91 points. So back-to-back Prem titles, you know, best defense, best offense. That's a very good sign. FA Cup is going to go to Liverpool. Carabao Cup is going to go to Arsenal. Man, we have not won any domestic cups today, but the big one, Champions League final, it's Chelsea versus AC Milan. Now, final stats, I want to see Cole Palmer and Osman's stats here. Palmer, 37-10, Osman, 34-8. Man, this is truly the duo. Man, look at the wingers, though. Madueke, 15-5, and Gittins, 11-13. That's so good. And then from the box-to-box mid, 12-12. Like, this is a truly balanced season here. And look at Hakimi, 5-8 from on your right back spot. That is some production right there. Numbers-wise, Osman, 91, Palmer, 93. So highest rated player in the team. Magnan 91. Kim Min-jae has grown nicely. Colwell has grown nicely. So I think this team is ready, man. We broke the Champions League curse, and I think we're ready to go for that Champions League trophy now. Led by this duo of Palmer and Victor Osimhen. Now, first, though, AC Milan's team, I'm curious. So they're gonna have Jimenez, Rafael Leao, Loftus-Cheek, Pulisic, Musa, Benacer, Teo Hernandez, Pavlovic, Gabia, Calabria, and Sportiello. Now, it's only a 4.5-star team. They have Nkunku, our former player, but you know what? It's not as good as I thought it would be. So I mean, we might be the favorites in this Champions League final. So we're gonna jump in here and play this game to try and make Chelsea champions of Europe again. So 3 years, you know, after our first 2 years, I really thought, you know, we might not win the Champions League till year 5, year 6, maybe, I don't know. But okay, year 3, that Hakimi signing might have been enough to, you know, get us here. But is it enough for us to actually win the Champions League trophy? We're going to find out. Champions League final at Old Trafford. Let's see what the boys can do. We are just one win away from the ultimate goal. Man, I want to see this Cole Palmer Osman duo on the field now, actually like in a played game. Is it as good as it looks on paper? We'll see. Now, this is a good chance for Milan to start. They score, but Leao's offside. Okay, that's a warning sign here. I was not expecting that. Thankfully, Leao was offside. That could have been a bad start. All right, Gittins over to Cole Palmer. Palmer into Osman, turns. Oh, the duo already seeing it, and Palmer's gonna score the first goal of the Champions League final. It only took 14 minutes for us to see this duo in action, and that is 1-0 to Chelsea. What a start here. This play by Osman was beautiful. All right, they score and it's rolled offside, and we score immediately right after. That's an interesting start here to this final. Now a chance again. Brahim, Pulisic. Oh, there's an open net, and I can't get over to clear it, bro. I think like Cole got stuck. I was spamming clear, but he wasn't even moving. Okay, 18 minutes and it's 1-1. This might be one of those Champions League finals, because what kind of start is this? All right, Madueke, Enzo is going to bring this forward a little bit. Going to give it to Palmer. Over to Madueke, cross over to Enzo. Cross is not bad. It's gonna be punched out, actually. Caicedo, good tackle there. Okay, play to Enzo. We got runners here. Oh man, that was not what I wanted. We're gonna try that again, maybe. Caicedo, Enzo, Osman into Cole Palmer. Man, that's a nice attack, though. All right, Sir Cole is gonna drive this into Osman. It's not gonna find him though. Please be onside. So I think he is. Crossover now. Okay, we're gonna try to head that back to someone, but literally no one was there. All right, this is being played at a very high pace. Enzo over to Madueke. Get it back to Enzo. Palmer, swing this thing. Osman, Palmer through to him. Oh, it's beautiful. The shot is gonna be saved. Now, second chance goes to Palmer. Oh, and the shot's not there, though. I tried getting it to Osman. Man, this is literally end-to-end. Pulisic now into Jimenez. There's a pass there. I'm trying to block it, and Cucurella does well to help out there. Come on. All right, with that halftime, it's currently 1-1 still. Milan have proved why they're here. You know, they're here for a reason. They're not a team to take lightly, as I'm seeing. Pulisic, Cucurella, good tackle on the former Chelsea winger, though. All right, Gittins. Okay, that's not going to work, but it's fine. We shall try this again. Gittins will turn. Got options. Gonna hold it. Swing this around. I like it. Cucurella, good pass there. Osman down the middle. One touch is nice. Whoa, he just took it so far wide. Palmer. Osman, it's beautiful. Second chance is gonna go in. Okay, we do get a second chance. We're not gonna miss it twice. First Palmer, now Victor Osman scores to make it 2-1. Man, these two up top feel so good together. Like Palmer chips it over to Osman. Osman, good first touch. The first shot should have went in, honestly. All right, though, 2-1, 54th minute. Come on, it is now time to take over. Gittins to Enzo. Enzo is gonna play it over to Madueke. Into Cole Palmer. Chance here. Palmer cuts inside, finesse. Okay, Osman. Whoa, that touch was diabolical, though. All right, Caicedo's gonna get it to Madueke. Hakimi's on a run here, which I do like. Hakimi, great turn here. Hakimi shot across goal, and he is going to hit the corner of the net, or the crossbar. Man, that shot was lethal, but it's gonna be just off, a little off. Now, Savinho on for Pulisic is giving Cucurella a run for his money here. Cucurella is going to not get a block in there. Hakimi, clearance away, and then Maignan will catch it against his former team. And that's an interesting cross in, but Maignan once again commanding goalkeeping there in his box. We got 20 minutes. Come on, another goal might seal it here. Gittins, Palmer into Osman. Osman's going to wait for Palmer. Wait for him. Wait for him. Oh, if that pass gets through, that's a chance. And their attack, it's like slow, methodical, but it is dangerous. Kim Min-jae, good tackle. Enzo to Gittins. Come on, this could be it. Enzo. It's going to be Cucurella waiting for a runner. Might find. Oh, what a pass to Bino Gittins from Cucurella. Bro, that's the pass of the game there. That was incredible. Jamie Gittins scores, make it 3-1. That might seal the Champions League trophy for Chelsea. Bro, this pass was disgusting, though, from Cucurella. That timing on that and the placement, the weight of it. And then Gittins, good first time finish. Man, that's a beautiful goal, though, to maybe seal it. That's beautiful. All right, 3-1 with 9 minutes left. That might be the nail in AC Milan's coffin. AC Milan's final attack is going to go to Kim Min-jae, and that is going to be it. So we are going to defeat Milan. Champions League final 3-1, and Chelsea are now champions of Europe once again, led by Cole Palmer and Victor Osimhen. Man, that is a scary duo we have learned today. That's a scary duo. All right, so what is that? Kim Min-jae, Bino Gittins, Osimhen, Delap, Mike Maignan, Hakimi. So those signings in 3 years is what allows us to win the Champions League with Chelsea again. You know, AC Milan made it close there with that goal in the first half, but in the end, this team just proved too much to handle. So Caicedo is going to lift another Champions League trophy for Chelsea with Cole Palmer right alongside him with also Mike Maignan. And I would say that is the Chelsea rebuild complete. Now, whether or not these transfers go through, you know, Chelsea signed other players in real life, at least in the universe of this video, this team got it done, and this team looks really, really good. So if you enjoyed the video, drop a like. I'd really appreciate it. Hit that sub button. We're on the road to 300,000 subs also. And if you want to watch me rebuild Aston Villa, then click on the screen to watch that.